Confirmed. The Lakers have been sold. Again. $12.5 billion. A new record in American sports. Mark Walter out. Bob Iger and Josh Kushner in. Less than 14 months after buying the team. A federal investigation may be part of the story. Jeannie Buss staying on as governor for now. This could reshape everything about the Lakers' future. Welcome back to the show, your home for the latest Lakers news, ownership drama, and everything happening around this franchise. Before we get into it, tell us in the comments what you think this changes for the Lakers going forward. Let's get into it. Mini headline. The Lakers have been sold for a record-breaking $12.5 billion, and it happened fast. Context. This isn't a rebuild story or a trade rumor. This is the single biggest ownership shakeup in the history of the franchise, and it's coming barely a year after the last one. Source/mechanics. According to ESPN's Ramona Shelburne, Josh Kushner and Bob Iger approached Mark Walter directly and put together an offer that moved unusually fast for a deal this size. Walter, who also owns the Dodgers and a stake in Chelsea through TWG Global, bought controlling interest in the Lakers just over a year ago at a valuation of about $10 billion. He's selling now for $12.5 billion, pocketing roughly $2.5 billion in the process. Jeannie Buss and the Buss family will keep their 15% stake, and Jeannie is expected to remain the team's governor. Why it matters. Kushner is the founder of Thrive Capital and a minority owner of the Miami Heat. Iger just stepped away from Disney after his second run as CEO. Neither of them was supposed to be here. They were reportedly working toward an NBA expansion team in Las Vegas before pivoting hard toward the Lakers instead. Obstacle. Here's the part that changes how this story reads. Walter's companies, including his insurance businesses and Guggenheim Partners, are reportedly under investigation by the SEC and federal prosecutors over how certain loans were disclosed. Nobody has officially connected that investigation to the timing of this sale, and Walter's companies deny any wrongdoing. But the timing is impossible to ignore. Risk versus reward debate. On paper, this looks like a straightforward, if enormous, business transaction. But when a $10 billion purchase turns into a $12.5 billion sale in barely a year, in the middle of a federal probe into the seller's other companies, people are going to ask questions. Unresolved consequence. The bigger question is what this means for stability at the top of the organization. 2 ownership changes in 14 months is not normal for a franchise this size, and it puts pressure on everyone underneath, including Luka Doncic in the front office, to prove nothing on the basketball side is shaken by it. Meanwhile, this isn't just a business story. It's personal for a lot of people around the team. Mini headline. Luka Doncic and Magic Johnson have already responded, and the messaging is all about continuity. Context. Whenever ownership changes hands, the first thing players and franchise legends do is try to calm the fan base down. That's exactly what happened here. Source/development. Magic Johnson posted that he's known Iger personally for over 40 years and called him and Kushner 2 of the best possible owners the team could have. Doncic said being a Laker means everything to him and that he's looking forward to building something with the new group. Why it matters. This matters because the Lakers are in the middle of a competitive window with Doncic as the new face of the franchise. The last thing that window needs is uncertainty at the ownership level bleeding into the locker room. Obstacle. The issue is that word from players and legends don't actually guarantee stability. Ownership groups set the budget, set the tone for spending near the luxury tax apron, and decide who runs the front office. None of that is settled just because the public statements sound reassuring. Consequence. Everything now depends on whether Iger and Kushner treat this as a long-term trophy asset they build around or a short-term investment they eventually flip again, the way Walter just did. That brings us to the angle nobody's really talking about yet. Mini headline. 2 sales in 14 months raises a real question. Is the Lakers' ownership situation actually stable? Context. Franchises at this level are usually generational holds. The Buss family owned the Lakers for over 4 decades before selling to Walter. Walter owned it for a little over a year. Analysis. Iger has deep, long-standing ties to Los Angeles and has said the new group will honor the original agreement with the Buss family, including Genie staying on as governor for at least 5 years. That's a real signal of intended stability. But intentions and outcomes aren't the same thing, especially with a valuation this high and this much money moving this fast. Debate. Is this the start of real, long-term ownership continuity for the Lakers? Or is this franchise simply the hottest trophy asset in sports right now, destined to keep changing hands every time someone bigger comes along with a check? So that's where things stand. The Lakers sold again, this time for a record $12.5 billion, with Bob Iger and Josh Kushner taking over for Mark Walter after just over a year. Do you think this ownership group sticks around for the long haul? Or is this franchise just going to keep getting flipped? Pick a side in the comments. Subscribe for the next update, and we'll see you in the next video.